Joining us now is Andy Puzder, former CKE Restaurants CEO and second vote advisory board member. Andy, good to see you. Welcome. I have to ask you because the jobs numbers were greatly below expectations, but the president says it's because of the Delta variant. He says it's all because of Delta. But you disagree with that. Tell us why.
Well, look, the economists, the expectations are set by a group of economists that get polled by, CNBC or Wall Street or Fox News. And these economists, they probably know about the COVID virus. I mean, they probably heard something about it. And they factor that into those numbers. So when you get economists' expectations, the COVID numbers are baked into that. And like you said, in August and September, they were projecting there'd be 1.2 million jobs created, and there were 560,000 created, missed it by half. And they knew about COVID. So, that the president is just making any excuse he can to cover up for really, really bad performance.
Yeah, very bad performance. And I still don't really see kind of any end in sight, especially with the stuff that some of the stuff that he's been promoting the last couple of days, whether it, relates to supply chain or what else. And we're going to get to that in a moment. But on the inflation angle, I've been very entertained to see the White House spokesperson address this, because they always like to say, well, wages are increasing. Look at this. I mean, everyone's getting paid more. You can make this much money now. Even a fast food restaurant, almost like they're doing a victory lap because they wanted that $15 an hour. And they wanted it to seem like this was they were able to, strong arm everyone into doing this. But unfortunately, as you and others have pointed out, Andy, what does it matter if you're getting paid more when inflation makes your money actually worth less than what it is?
Well, that's exactly right, Dan. In fact, in every month of the Trump presidency, the inflation rate was lower than the rate of wage growth. So people's paychecks, they were getting bigger numbers, and those numbers were actually worth more because inflation was low. But since March, since that $1.9 trillion rescue spending bill, I don't know what they were rescuing, but that $1.9 trillion bill, since they passed that, inflation has jumped above wages. So for the past 6 months, we've seen inflation exceeding wage growth, which means people are saying, oh, great, I got a bigger number on my check, but then they go to buy gas, they go to buy food, they go to buy anything. And they find out their money is less. They actually have less money than before they got the increase.
Or they go to turn their thermostat up this winter and they see that their energy cost, because most Americans have natural gas, is going to go up by 54%. And that's the average cost. I mean, to say nothing of northeastern states or just, Northwest. I wanted to get your thoughts on that as well, and the administration's answer or lack thereof. It seemed everything that they said seemed to be like window dressing. I think that's how I've heard it described. What are your thoughts on that? It's affecting everything.
Well, their energy policy is absolutely nonsensical. He comes into office, he cancels Keystone, he cancels drilling on federal lands. He says we're going to get to carbon neutrality. Well, we're the world's third largest energy exporter. And when the world's third largest energy exporter announces that it's going to cut production, guess what happens to the price of energy? The price of oil and gas goes up, particularly with the increased demand we have coming out of the pandemic. So when he sees that problem, when he sees that people are actually paying $1 a gallon more for gas, energy prices are up about 25% year over year. Biden sees that, his team sees that. Do they come in and say, look, let's get those American energy workers back to work. Let's ramp up production in the United States so we can get these costs down for people. No, they go and beg OPEC, which includes Iran, Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, not exactly our best friends. They go to OPEC and Russia and ask them to increase their production to get our energy prices down. And of course, they laughed at the Biden administration. They said, why on earth would we increase production to lower your prices? We're getting a high price for our product right now. We like it that American consumers are paying more. So the energy policy coming out of this administration, it's a make America last policy. It's really not even rational.
I do too. Andy, last topic, I got to ask you also about the supply chain crisis. A lot of people were interested in the response from Florida governor saying, just go ahead and bring them all around here. We'll unload them in Florida, because I know there are a lot of factors that are contributing to this, because obviously you have, some of the regulations from the federal government. You have stuff going on in China with their electricity shortage. I mean, it seems like it would be relatively easy to stop this and unravel this and get things moving back to normal. What say you?
Yeah, it would be. If we stop discouraging people from going back to work, if we encourage people to get back and get their careers going, become financially independent, get the self-respect and dignity that come with a job, particularly young people that have been sitting around for the last 18 months playing video games at home with their parents and collecting government checks. We need these people to get back to work, to understand the importance to the country and to their self-respect of having a job, and stop passing all of these ridiculous government programs that encourage people to stay home. That's why you have all these boats lined up with containers. The docks are full of containers. We just need people to unload them. We need to get moving. We need to get the country moving again. And don't you wish we had a president who understood business and understood that we need to get the country moving again?